Negotiation Unlocked, a fresh take on finding win-win solutions. Have you ever found yourself stuck in a disagreement where nobody seems to win? Or wondered why, in every negotiation, someone ends up feeling shortchanged? What if I told you that negotiation isn't about winning or losing, but about creating solutions that work for everyone? Today, we're diving into the insights of William Ury and Roger Fisher, the founders of the Harvard Negotiation Project and authors of Getting to Yes. Whether you're closing a business deal or simply trying to agree on the room temperature, the techniques we explore can transform the way you communicate and resolve conflicts. Before we begin, ask yourself, how often do you focus on proving your point rather than understanding the other side's perspective? And what if the secret to a successful negotiation lies not in splitting the difference, but in discovering hidden opportunities that make both parties happy? Let's explore these ideas together. 1. Discover hidden interests. Look beyond the surface. In many negotiations, people get stuck on their positions, like the two men in the library, arguing over whether the window should be open or closed. One craves fresh air, while the other wants to protect his papers from the wind. Instead of arguing about a fixed position, the librarian listened to both sides and solved the problem by opening a second window. This simple act didn't force a compromise. It created a new opportunity that satisfied both needs. Ask why. Instead of locking into a fixed idea, dig deeper. Ask yourself and the other party why they want something. What are the underlying interests? By uncovering these hidden needs, you can work together to create solutions that go beyond a 50-50 split. Embrace open dialogue. When both parties share their real interests, trust builds naturally. People respond better when they feel understood. So, next time you're in a negotiation, begin by asking, can you tell me why this is important to you? 2. Establish objective benchmarks. Let fair standards guide the way. Imagine two people trying to split a cake. No matter how they cut it, both may feel cheated if they only focus on the division itself. Instead, one person cuts and the other picks first, an arrangement that forces fairness without endless haggling. Objective benchmarks work in much the same way. Use neutral criteria. Rather than arguing over who's right, appeal to fair standards such as market prices, legal requirements, or expert opinions. For example, if you're negotiating a rent increase, don't just rely on personal opinions. Compare it to current market rates. Agree on the rules together. Before diving into the specifics, set the ground rules. Ask, what criteria should we use to decide a fair outcome? This simple question shifts the focus from personal demands to objective standards that both sides can accept. 3. Create win-win opportunities. Think beyond a 50-50 split. Let's reimagine another scenario. Two kids fighting over an orange. If you cut it exactly in half, each gets only 50% of the fruit. But what if one child loves the juicy part while the other treasures the zest? With a little creativity, both can get exactly what they want, even 100% of their ideal piece. You brainstorm together. Instead of accepting an equal division as the only solution, invite everyone to brainstorm. Encourage wild ideas without judgment at first. Once the ideas flow, sort through them together to find creative options that satisfy both parties' interests. Transform differences into advantages. Often, our differences are not obstacles but opportunities. Ask, how can our different preferences actually help us create a better outcome? This approach can lead to innovative solutions that you might never have considered if you were focused solely on splitting the difference. 4. Prioritize people over problems. Keep relationships intact. In negotiations, it's easy to let the heat of the moment make you forget that you're dealing with real people. Picture a scenario where two colleagues argue vehemently over a project detail. If you're too focused on winning the argument, you risk damaging a valuable relationship. The secret? Separate the person from the problem. Be empathetic. Always address the issue without letting personal feelings cloud your judgment. Compliment your counterpart and acknowledge their perspective. For example, say, "I appreciate your point of view, and I understand why this matters to you. Let's figure out a way to solve this together." Focus on the issue, not the ego. Remember, negotiation is about resolving a problem, not defeating someone. When tensions rise, take a step back and ask, am I addressing the problem or attacking the person? By focusing on the issue, you preserve the relationship and increase the chances of reaching an agreement that benefits everyone. Handling common obstacles in negotiation. Even with these strategies, challenges can arise. What if the other party isn't playing by the rules? Let's look at 3 common hurdles and how to overcome them. A. Tackling dirty tactics. Sometimes, the other side may use pressure tactics or even lie to push their agenda. When you notice this, it's important to address it directly, without getting personal. If you sense that you're being manipulated, gently point it out. You might say, "It seems like we're falling into a pattern of tough bargaining. Can we pause and clarify what's really important to both of us?" This approach not only neutralizes the tactic, but also invites honesty. Remember, staying calm and composed is key. Or if you react emotionally, you risk derailing the negotiation. Instead, take a deep breath and steer the conversation back to mutual interests. B. Balancing power dynamics. What if you're negotiating with someone who holds more power or leverage? Power imbalances are common, but there's a way to level the playing field. Develop your BATNA, best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Before entering any negotiation, identify your best alternative. Ask yourself, what's my plan if this doesn't work out? A strong BATNA not only boosts your confidence, but also sets a clear minimum acceptable outcome. When you know your alternatives, you're less likely to be pressured into a bad deal. It's like walking into a job interview with multiple offers. Suddenly, you're in a position of strength. C. Deflecting personal attacks. Sometimes negotiations can get personal, and criticism can become an obstacle. Instead of fighting back defensively, use a technique I like to call negotiation jujitsu. When someone attacks you personally, ask them to explain their position further. Try, "I hear your concern. Can you help me understand what specifically bothers you?" This not only deflects the attack, but also shifts the focus back to the problem at hand. Encourage the other side to critique your ideas rather than your character. This subtle shift can transform a hostile encounter into a productive dialogue. For example, "What can I do to make this proposal work better for both of us?" Invites collaboration instead of conflict. A cheerful tale to wrap it up, the Frisbee fable. Back in 1964, an American father and his 12-year-old son were playing Frisbee in Hyde Park, London, a novelty in England at the time. A small crowd gathered, intrigued by this unusual game. Suddenly, a gentleman approached and asked, "I've been watching you for 15 minutes. Who's winning?" In negotiation, asking who's winning is like asking if a marriage is successful. It misses the point. The real victory is in working together to enjoy the game. This story reminds us that when we focus on winning, we lose sight of what really matters: collaboration, understanding, and creating value for everyone involved. Negotiation isn't a battle to be won. It's a dance where both parties can shine. By focusing on hidden interests, establishing objective benchmarks, creating win-win opportunities, and prioritizing people over problems, you can transform even the most contentious discussions into opportunities for mutual gain. So, next time you find yourself in a negotiation, remember these principles. Dig deep to uncover true interests. Lean on fair, objective standards. Collaborate to create solutions that exceed simple compromises. Keep the relationship intact by separating the person from the problem. Ask yourself, what can we both gain from this? How can we make this situation work for everyone? When you shift your focus from winning to collaborating, you unlock the true potential of negotiation. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found these insights useful. If you enjoyed this video, please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Until next time, keep negotiating, and remember, the best outcomes come when everyone walks away feeling like a winner. Comment below, share your own negotiation success stories, or ask any questions you have. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.